Hello, everybody. My name is Mo. Welcome to MO5000x7. I'm your host, Mo. Today we're going to be talking about all kind of topics. Everybody come on into the room. Please like and subscribe to the channel. This is episode 10, and we are getting it in today. If you want to donate to the channel and help in the ways that we do things and move around, you can donate to Cash App at $MON, the number 8TR. That's Mo Nature. $MON, the number 8TR, and that's at Cash App. Come on in. We want everybody to join on in. Welcome. Episode 10. Clap it up, y'all. Happy April. We have made it. We made it from March, and we are now into April as it starts to warm up. So everybody, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited to have everybody along for this particular journey. We've come a long way in pushing the channel like we need to do. So with all that, let's get right into it. And before I go any further, please leave your comments below. You can leave it down there. It'll help join into the conversation of all the things that we speak about. So please feel free to do so. So we are April 1st. We are April. With that comes April Fools. A lot of people have been calling the president a fool for putting these tariffs out. And for those that don't know what tariffs are taxes on goods that are imported. So we tax people as they bring things in and pay their fair price. When you do that, it gets a lot of people heated. And there's a lot of things that are lopsided from other presidents that have let things go by. And so now we pay certain costs that they don't pay us. And now it's starting to even out. And it's going to disrupt how we do things. There's going to be taxes and money added to our daily lives, whether it be food, medicine, health, entertainment. All of these dollar signs will add up. That's kind of the news of the day. If you guys have been following the weather, you know it's been getting really shaky out here. The tornadoes, the heating up and the cooling down has caused flooding, has caused tornadoes, all kinds of types of disasters. Since we are in April, we've stepped away from March and the March Madness. You got the women's basketball going on. You got the men's guys doing their thing going on. Final Four coming up. All of this action is taking place. On the women's side, you have Texas versus Connecticut, which will be a good game. On the men's side, you got Houston versus Duke. And then you also have Auburn versus Florida. So those games will be coming up this weekend. It should be exciting stuff. If you are a hoop fan like I am, you're going to see some real dynamic basketball and have you on the edge of your seat as we go into the warmer months. Has anybody been enjoying what they've been seeing lately? Back in the day, you used to be bombarded with lots of different things, but are you actually happy with the things that you see in your media? You know, what all are you watching? Another thing that's taking place in the news is what's going on the boundaries. So you have China surrounding Taiwan, and Taiwan is doing military drills. China has stepped it up and surrounded them doing their military drills. So it's starting to get real testy out there in these waters. You'll see a lot of these particular things start to ramp up as people do drills. It's kind of a scary thing if you're in the military out on the water. On the 5th of April, there's going to be a nationwide rally called Hands Off. People are getting really upset with the president, Elon Musk, etc., all the different things that are taking place and movements that are happening fast. And this hands off is to say, hey, don't mess with our healthcare. Don't mess with the data. Don't mess with the jobs, our services. It's going to be a nationwide rally. With that also comes a hint of danger. When you start having nationwide rallies, that gets people activated to be into activism. And there's people on the opposite side who want to press that too. And you might have opposing sides clash. And like I said, a flashpoint can make anything happen. So be on the lookout for that. April 5th is not only a nationwide protest, but an international protest too. With so first off, you got like DC, Baltimore, the headquarters of the Social Security headquarters. You got Daily Court, Staten Island, Philly, Los Angeles. What else we got here? Chicago, all participating in the rally. You have London, Portugal, Mexico, the Yucatan, France. All of these people will be joining in the hands-off rally that comes up on April 5th. April 5th. Have your head on the lookout for that, because there's going to be a lot of different things that take place. On the 5th, there will also be the vote for TikTok to see if it's still going to be in play if they haven't found a buyer. The president wants to get rid of TikTok by the current owners that have it now and have a new buyer take over, or else the U.S. will ban TikTok until that happens. The clock is ticking, and the deadline for that also happens to be on April 5th. I think the owner of that is ByteDance. That's the name of the company. They have their hands in a serious situation. Let's get back to the weather and the slow-moving storms, because flash flooding is a thing that's going to take place with these storms that kind of stall out. So you can see behind me, you got all these crazy clouds going, right? When you see these strange colors and you look up in the sky and you're in the Midwest, then that could be danger for tornadic type of weather. So please take cover when things get real quiet, and you know to go for shelter as fast as you can, because sooner or later that freight train sound that you hear, it's not a freight train, it's some tornadic weather coming. For those that are out on the East Coast right now, you are getting pummeled, and the storms are only going to keep coming because the waves keep coming from the west. If you're on the West Coast, you're dealing with all types of different weather because it's cold and it's warm. And things are swirling about, making it a real difficult time for those that are trying to recover if there's mudslides, if there's flooding, if there's damage, lightning, trees, power lines down. In certain areas, you know, they just had a huge earthquake over, where was that at? In Bangkok. They had areas there where people had been killed. There was a total of about 2,000 people, not in that particular area, but a little bit north of that, where 2,000 people were basically out of the picture. And there's search teams over there now looking for people and listening for sounds of breathing and all kinds of things. But it was mass destruction from a crazy earthquake that I think hit 7.7, which is as serious as it gets. A small earthquake can do some damage, but this one was strong enough to be felt. And it leveled several buildings with lots of people in them. And there's people trapped. Very, very scary time. And if you've never experienced an earthquake, you can't run from it. You just gotta wait it out. There's nowhere to go. You can stand in between things and hope that things don't collapse, but it can be very scary. Has anybody seen the football player that got his house ran into by some thug dudes, some thug guys? So a lot of the NFL players, man, you guys are marks. You guys are targets. You always have been. It's just being shown now. I think Richard Sherman, who played for Seattle, had his house ran into, and the three gunmen went through the window. Like, they didn't even care about the alarm. They had on coats, had their hoodies up, gloves on, and guns out, and they even got to his wife and his children and had them at gunpoint until they got the things that they needed and got out of there. So even a security system, it rings the alarm and it lets people know that the authorities are en route or coming, but you can still get in. It's just a pane of glass. what I would suggest for any homeowner, especially if you're in the NFL and you have things that are very valuable or people know that you have income that can be loot if somebody takes it, please protect yourself and maybe invest in some private security or have some guard dogs. That's the one thing I noticed that wasn't in the picture of the guys breaking into the house. Like, there was no dog. I come from a time where if you step in the house, man, I hope you don't run into my dog because it's not going to be good for you. And that's enough to thwart anyone away, especially if you have a nice sized dog. Even if it barks, it's enough to make a person think twice, because these guys just marched in the house, and you can't stop somebody that's on a mission. Like, they either going in or they not. These guys went in and they had their guns out and they didn't come to play games. And lots of basketball players, football players, entertainers, again, have the most lucrative security systems, but it doesn't stop you from coming in. It just lets you know that someone's there. And you have to be mindful to know that there's somebody that may harm you and is willing to risk it all. Are you willing to risk it all to make sure that you're safe? These are the things that you got to look at when you're watching the news today. My name is Mo. This is MO5000x7. Over here at this channel on YouTube, we check out all kind of things. We talk about all kind of subjects. Feel free to leave your information in the comments, a way that we can talk about different topics, get to you, shout you out. I'd like to hear from other people and other voices, and put some of those people on camera or put the mics up to them and hear their points of view. There are so many different things to discuss and places to explore. Can't do it all by myself, so you got to leave me some notes so that we can check in with each other and do right by each other. Now, this is the next thing I want to talk about before I go too far. I don't want to go way off course, and I don't want to go too far. But this is where we spit that hot fire. This is where we spit that dragon fire. Yeah, so all of you people that are watching things take place and not being tied to your community and talking about things that are taking place in the government, and you're not standing up on your own and don't know what's going on around with you, you need to check some things out and see what's going on in your area. You don't always have to comment about what's going on, but know what's going on in your area. Know the people that are connected to you. So when things get live, it doesn't become all the way. Things can get all the way live if you let them get out of hand. Sometimes as a people, we tend to get so excited and join in with the foolishness that we forget it's about to get live. It's going to be all the way. April 5th may be one of them days. We've seen people climb up into the White House and tear it down. And now you're going to have people that are protesting nationally. They're going to run into some opposition in some of these places, in one of these small towns, maybe somewhere remote. And when it gets live, it's going to be all the way. I want you to know that things don't have to be scary. You don't have to be in fear. Know that everybody is trying to reach for the good, but when it gets live, it's going to be all my people out there. Throw a number 1 up in the chat. All my people, give me a thumbs up, like the channel when you come in. I got so many people to shout out here on episode 10. We have done so many different things. And I keep saying, I don't know where to begin, but I really would like to give a heartfelt thank you to all the people who have checked me out, checked out the things that we do over here. Our views are going up. We have now surpassed 700,000 views on this channel. We have had over 25,000 something likes. The subscribers have gone up into the 1600s. We've uploaded over, 1,000, 1,200, 13, 1,500 videos, somewhere up there. There's content coming, lots of things to discuss. If you watch the channel, you'll see that I like cars. You'll see that I have a superstar daughter. Her name is Clever. Clever is one half of the group Mother Nature. You can find that particular group on Mother Nature Bars with a Z. That's Mother Nature Bars with a Z. MotherNatureBars.com. You can find them on all platforms, Instagram, whatever gram. You can find them all over the place. Excellent music, thoughtful insight. We're going to be touring soon. We're going to be playing places. If you are locally in the Illinois area, if you are in Urbana on, I believe it's April 12th, there will be a performance that you can check out with Mother Nature tearing it down in their hometown where they went to school at and did all kinds of particular things for the U of I. If you're out there, come support them, buy the tickets. I'll put the link up so you can get to it. There's going to be a lot more things to come and discuss. Like I said, just a week ago, we spent some time over in Columbus, Ohio. We did a presentation there talking about healing, talking about hip-hop and diplomacy. Hip-hop is very important all over the world. I represent hip-hop. I was doing it way before a lot of people were. And it's cool to see everybody doing things now. What we're missing in hip-hop, this is kind of what I want to discuss just a little bit. There's certain fractions and factions that people miss. So if you're into this hip-hop culture and you only know the rap side of it, there's other parts. And because you don't have all the pieces together, you miss the total dynamic. There's dance that comes with this. And the dance is a way to express that energy, to get that out of you. Back in the day, people would battle and they would come up with these dances. They would come up with things to stay energized. It's part of the music. So even if you didn't know the words, you could do the dances that come with it and have fun at a party and do your thing and not concentrate on fighting or some ill stuff that's going to take you in the danger zone. The other thing is DJing. There's a lot of people who claim that they DJ now that we have these computers. And when you ask people, hey, do you DJ? And they say, yeah. It's like, well, what do you do other than mixing and twisting some knobs? Do you know how to back cut? You know any tricks? You know any moves with that? Like, what can you do? Can you introduce some new music to me? I like to hear something where you know the material, because a DJ is knowing the sounds, knowing the music, knowing those breaks, knowing what to play, how to slow it down, how to speed it up, how to get the party going. Everybody that claims they're a DJ isn't. Same way some people say they're an MC. I know a lot of guys who say they rap, and there's a difference between rappers and MCs. Rappers rap. I know some excellent rappers. They can rap like it's nobody's business. But an MC can hold it down. Hold it down meaning master of the ceremony. Meaning they have control of what's going on. They're knowledgeable about everything that they need to be once the rapping stops. See, sometimes you can rap and then somebody put a mic in front of you and you might have to talk a little bit. And there's some people who are not so sharp and they seem silly compared to the music that they make. They haven't been in the media training to speak. Those that speak from the heart that really have things to say have no problem expressing themselves. But to those who are wannabes or copying others trying to do this, you'll find them fall on their face often. It's not a cool thing to see. For those that are into poetry, spoken word, into art and graffiti and tagging, it's another way of being creative and using colors and emotions to express yourself to others. I had a talk with a gentleman once that swore, but now he knew a whole lot about hip hop. And I said, when's the last time you read a train? And he looked kind of puzzled and said, read a train? And I said, yeah, these tags that are coming all from these rail yards and cars have language. And it's a moving language. It's going across. Can you read it? Do you understand what it is in those tags and what it's saying? And how fast it was done and how large on a megalithic thing. There's some people who really get busy with this and taking the time to use the colors that they select so that it can be vibrant when the sunlight hits it, or it doesn't wash away when the rain pounds the metal of these trains going by. It's moving canvas. It's moving artwork. There's a language that's going by you. And when you're at a stoplight or at a rail crossing and these things are going by and you're watching it, it's a storyline going right by you. And the stories of each of those cars are different. Each one. Some are violent. You can tell by how fast it was done. But the ones that are very detailed and neat, ornate with all kinds of minuscule paint things that take time, somebody had a thought process in really getting this across and had to find a way to do this in the cover of darkness or away from prying eyes that would see them do this. These are the parts of hip hop that are often missed. And this goes nationwide. Nationwide. So if you're only locked into the videos and watching somebody with the ice blinging to death, and overdoing it, over-accentuating, over-exaggerating certain areas, they're trying to appeal to you as if that's what it is. And that's not what hip-hop is. It's a feeling that comes with that. And there's times when you can put it to the side and go do something else and come right back to it. As you grow into the culture, you'll learn certain things. So for instance, you go see people in the Olympics, you'll see a lot of international breakdancers. And you'll see these guys doing a lot of different crazy moves, different acrobatic type moves. But the ones who are real B-boys, they're not doing all that. You do a little bit and then you step back from it because you might press up on a pretty girl. And you don't want to be all hot and your clothes all wrinkled up, dirtied up from spinning on the floor if you trying to impress a young lady. If you don't have any luck in that area, then you don't mind doing crazy windmills till you can't stop. Nothing wrong with dancing like that. But the ones who have grown in the culture move away from that segment and go into another. And so right now, the phase of most people are telling the stories on these podcasts because they've accumulated so much knowledge that now they can disseminate what they've learned to the masses and say, this is what we've covered. This is where we are with it. So some people have rock and roll, and then you have a rock and roll hall of fame where you gather and you can talk about your achievements. Rap doesn't really have a place of a rock and roll type hall of fame. We've been in the hall of fame. We talked about the hall of fame before it happened. Run DMC did that. We've been inducted into it, and there's people who have won trophies to be in the hall of fame. But a true hall of fame is about that particular dynamic of music or genre. So when we talk about rap, who's in it? Who's in the hall of fame that should be in there? Because there's a lot of people left out. This past summer, we celebrated the 50 years of the first hip-hop party that was on record. It's not 50 years of hip-hop. Hip-hop goes beyond that. Way beyond that. This is what's celebrated, what's on wax, not the tapes, not the underground jam. This is just starting from the party. There are certain things that are in question about some of the pioneers who set this thing off. Tariq Nasheed has a beautiful documentary talk about microphone check or mic check 1212. Microphone check talks about the pioneers on the females, the DJs, the B-boys, the graffiti artists. You're seeing all aspects of hip hop and who did it first and where this genre came from and the young people who did it, because these guys are kids. You know, as a kid, I was doing things. I was playing around with drum machines when I was young, when everybody was like trying to drive cars and be out and about. I was trying to master these programs. You know, I had a big brother who was older than me that had went off to school, and he would bring all these beautiful records back that I could listen, and it was almost futuristic. I didn't have the means to get these records, but he would bring them and I would study them. And then I'd want to make the music that I heard. I didn't want to do something different. I wanted to make what I heard because I'm creative. And trying to get the synthesizers and drum machines to do that, that's what I was on. I was on the next level of doing things. I was trying to duplicate what I heard. What are people duplicating now? You're seeing the foolishness of today. You're seeing people wearing the jewelry that'll get you robbed. And you shouldn't be worried about getting robbed. But even Liberace ain't wearing his diamonds all over the place. And when he does, it's when he's in concert. You got people walking down the street, lighting it up with their jewels and expecting to be safe. You have people talking about gunplay and firearms and not afraid to shoot and are doing so and are losing their lives in these gun battles like it's the Wild West. You have people experimenting with particular drugs that will wipe you out, even if you come into contact with them. We're in the experimental age because people have gotten so high, they looking down on heaven. That's crazy. You so high, you looking down on heaven. Some people are playing with the future on a crazy level. There are things that are taking place that hip hop can heal. There's things that can help us coordinate with the young and old. This is one of those genres where young people and old people can mix to the music and dance to the music. I've seen people on this Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl Not Like Us thing, and there's people line dancing to that I thought would never play out. But I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in real time. You're seeing people trying to rap and have fun and trying to understand things. I don't see a lot of people picking up instruments. That was one of the things we did in the early stages of hip hop. Like everybody I knew had drum sets or, tried to play an instrument of some sort because that's what you started with. That's where your beatboxing comes from, is the lack of having equipment. You gotta make the sounds out of something. Guys around the way, man, will be pounding on some tables, pounding on some desks, pounding on some walls, trying to make some rhythms. They get the cipher going, the circle going, and people would go at it. And the dancers would come from that to add on to it for the people who couldn't rap or couldn't do the ad-libs. These are all the things that we're missing today. But people abroad are picking up what we put down. And so you're seeing the old forms of hip hop being displayed all over the world by the stuff that we let go as we advance. So again, the breakdancing you see with people doing crazy moves and doing stuff out of this world don't have much to do. And so they mastered incredible moves to outdo each other in battle. But this is a form that we put down. It's not that we let it go and this and that. We've advanced to some other forms of different things. Hip hop turned 50 on this past birthday celebration. And so the people that came in on that particular wave, what are they doing now? They're in government. They're affecting the economy. They're being ambassadors. They're teaching. They're professors. They're scientists. They're setting up governments. They're setting up structure for others to follow as they push through. That's what the first wave did. And the ones who didn't get to the top tier level and didn't get the national fame and have the videos out, they're the ones that's doing that word of mouth, that spoken word, speaking to, each one teach one, reaching out, showing others how to move about in a way that will last the test of time. You have some people on the fast track who are not going to make it. They're running the race too fast and they're going to expire in that same manner. You're not supposed to die during music. It's supposed to save your life. You're supposed to do things that breed life. The love songs, the educational side of things, it can bleed into all of that. You have a lot of narratives, because there's different ways to get your music now. There's a lot of narratives now that talk more about the destruction side, the shoot 'em up side, the drug side, the fast life side, and there's no balance. You have the most wickedest behavior, whether it be males or females, talking about things to outdo each other in shock value. People used to think Madonna was racing. The things that she's doing and was talking about compared to now, she might as well be in her pajamas instead of lingerie. These are the things that you're seeing. And when there is no more shock value, when you have gone as far as you can possibly go, what do you do next? What happens next? That's what I want my people to do. If you got comments on what happens when you reach as far as you can go on the shock value, put in the comments what you think is going to happen next. Like, you turn around and do some more? What do? Do you go back to the basics? There's a breakdown of all things. All things can become new again, and old things can become new again. But we have been pushing the boundaries for quite some time on, what's going to happen next. And the ways that people see things, hear things, through their phones, through their tablets, through their computers, laptops, streaming, it's way out of bounds. Way out of bounds. And I'm not for sure where it's going to go. But I know hip hop is built to attach to anything. It was designed for those that have nothing. So for the kid that didn't have a tape deck or Walkman, he could beatbox on his way to school. He could pound on the bus, on the seats, and make rhythms to keep himself company. He could say raps that will last the entire journey of his walk to school, whether it be 15-minute walk, 30-minute walk, or an hour. That's where this rap stuff came from in the early battles. You didn't rap to just drop shock value or punches. You're going to get punched out. You're going to get punched drunk. You better say some meaningful things that can last. When you listen to rapper's delight. It's a party record. But for those that memorize that whole thing, man, you're looking at 8, 9, 10 minutes of rapping. Just going on and on to the break of dawn. Now, when you ask somebody to recite a song, they got about a minute freestyle. And they think that's what rap is. And then it's over until the next thing. So they've lost the spirit of memorization because the things have been shorter. The quantizing is getting smaller. Slick Rick told us in the 80s that, what did he say? He talked about, hey, young world. And if you don't watch out for people who are doing these drugs, your kids are going to be doing it at some point. And we're in that age now. So take a listen to that song, Slick Rick, Hey Young World. There's some verses in there where he's dropping straight jewels. And we're in that time period now because those kids from that wave have become parents. And those parents might even have grandkids now. That's where we're at with this. And he talked about certain things that would happen if you didn't watch out for these cautionary tales. There's certain things that are supposed to happen. On the flip side, there's a lot of money being made. Lots of our contemporaries and people that are able to make cash are making lots of it. And so I'm happy for all of them that are on the receiving end. They have the means to be able to take care of themselves and change the narrative if they choose to. Back in the day, you have a chain, you might have an outfit, you're lucky if you got some wheels. You take that and you expand it and go further and further. And now we got people talking about they flying, not driving, flying. And it's a wonderful thing to see the exchange of wealth happen. If you're not careful, that'll go away in a heartbeat. What would take away something like that? War. War on the horizon. The way of life that you know it, you can get rocked to sleep if you're not careful. There's things going on in the peninsula, abroad, that you need to be speaking about and draw attention to, because those things will come over here and affect what you do. There are certain people that were doing all kinds of interesting things the morning of 9/11 in New York. When the plane hit the towers, all of that changed forever. Immediately, whatever you was doing before, all of that came to a halt. The rap stopped, the fun stopped, the dancing stopped, the graffiti stopped, business stopped, cell phones stopped. Getting in contact with your loved ones became important. Knowing how to communicate without social media, without cell phones, you learn how to do the basics again. Those that were making money in the ways that they used to, when that happened, came to a grinding halt and had to be readjusted. Sort of like with COVID. Same thing happened. People had to step back for a second and reintroduce themselves to what do I do as a basic step and reinvent myself. We're in those days now. So the people who have the song matter that has a deeper content, those were the ones in COVID that really got busy with their pen and pad. The painters and artists that really got nice with the cans, really smooth lines and making straight lines and exploring colors and range. During COVID, they got nice with it. The DJ who didn't have time to practice or learn the new software, how to do things or have a space to play his music, when COVID happened, they got to master that. They had time to listen. They had time to get into it. Those who were not used to being able to move around on a train or go place to place because COVID limited everyone's movement, learn those breakdance moves to get sharp. They practiced the windmills and spins and flips and different moves and poses. They had time to do that when the world stood still. And when it was time to reemerge, they have a new standard. You're seeing those things now. I often talk about my daughter's group, Mother Nation. They're one of those groups that got sharper during COVID. The subject matter got better. They were able to spread themselves around and reach different dynamics. And so when you hear their music, it's something for everyone. I would highly suggest everyone get it. MotherNatureBars.com. Please check out the site. You're going to get new music. There's things that you can get ready for, because we're going to be on tour soon near you. You. This is Mo Nature. Mo, I'm Mo. MON, the number 8, TR on Cash App. $MON, the number 8, TR on Cash App. If you want to donate to the channel, please like and subscribe to Mo, that's me, at MO5000x7. I know it's a whole lot of Mo. Why do you keep saying Mo? Mo is my nickname. Mo is short for Geronimo, for those that don't know. Mo, my best friend gave me that nickname because we used to do all kinds of stuff. Bad guys, good guys, cops and robbers. And I wanted to be Geronimo. I wanted to be the most feared dude doing my thing. He could be the cowboy doing his stuff. And then some kind of way it got shortened to Mo. He shortened it, and then it just stuck. So that's kind of what we go with. Lastly, in the news, pull up my little piece of paper. I saw that Hooters went for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Yep, Hooters. They are not making the money like they used to. The skimpy suits and things that they did is not more family oriented, so people kind of pulled away. So much so that they closed lots of stores, but they filed for bankruptcy today. Along with Red Lobster, who was in that boat, and Fridays. So a lot of your in-between dining, I'm not going to say expensive dining because there's some places that are high, but family-oriented where people could go, kind of scaled back. And it really hasn't been the same since COVID. Hooters was a good place to gather, a sports bar, but now you got so much competition, and Buffalo Wild Wings and other places that have that same type of theme of, getting together and watching the game in a group setting and having that type of finger foods. Everybody's in that. And Hooters took a hit. They were kind of the first to do that. Now they last. So, it was kind of, I'm not going to say sad to see, but you're seeing the withering away of those type of businesses. And I don't know if they're going to recover. COVID has changed a lot in these last 5 years. But that was the new news today. And it's not an April Fool's joke either, because I know it's going to be a lot of people pulling your leg talking about different things that could be, as a joke on April Fool's Day. But there's no jokes here. We just keep it real. Keep it real. Shout outs to everybody I know. So many people that I know, man. Please check in. Say your name. State your name. Put it in the comments. So I can shout you out. All my people in Sao Paulo, Yokohama, Japan, the East Coast, like I said, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Shaolin, all of that, Staten Island, Long Island, LI, the coast, the Carolinas, all the way down to Florida, the Midwest, Illinois, Ohio. I gotta shout out Ohio. Because we had such a good time up in, I almost said Akron. We weren't in Akron. We was in Columbus. In Columbus, Cincinnati had it going on. Dougie Fresh was out there tearing it up the same time we was. What a dynamic performer. Out west, again, if you out in the California area, Southern Cal, all the neighborhoods out there, you already know what time it is. Texas, that's where Mother Nature's base is. Houston, that's what's up, H-Town. again, all that. If you, like I said, Illinois, the Quad Cities, Chicago, Champaign, down to St. Louis. I almost said East St. Louis. East St. is something else. What? Marshall, what's up? Everybody out in Springfield. You know, we could go on and on shouting out places and this and that. And I don't want to go crazy with it. But it's a lot of people. Buenos Aires, who else? London, the UK. It's so many spots. Everybody in South America, Brazil, what's good? All my people out there. So many people. International, that's right. We everywhere, kid. MO5000x7 is everywhere. So with that, it's time to tap out before the buzzer sounds. You know, we've been spitting that hot fire. We've been spitting that dragon fire. You know, we've been doing things before they get all the way. Before we go to, I want to say peace to my family, Naja Knox, GQ Knox, Scooby-Doo Knox, all the family. I'm so proud of everybody that knows me, all my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very happy. This is episode 10. We have done it. We have made it this far. I'm going to keep dropping content. I'm going to keep bombarding you with things. I'm going to keep sharing ideas and see where this thing goes. As we go on tour, we'll be dropping lots of footage. The last thing that we just did, the press conference and music conference that we did over in Columbus, Ohio, I dropped that footage. People loved it. So much to see. Mother Nature teaches. On top of that, we've been asked to go to different colleges, schools, dropping programs and information on this hip-hop stuff, teaching it like it's supposed to be taught, and learning new things to take across the country and spread good news, not bad news, good stuff. And we got the fly fashions that come with it. There's going to be merchandise that's going to be dropped soon too. So many different things to see. If you see me moving around, you know how I am. I keep it moving like the CTA. If you don't know what the CTA is, Chicago Transit Authority, you know what it is. That's what's up. I don't know what else to say. It's stuff going everywhere. I got notes everywhere. It's nonstop. So with that, let the buzzer sound. That's what's up.
1000x7, the rhythm so divine. Numbers step together like stars that shine. Flow is in control, we're cruise the line. A world of information within every line.
Take a picture, y'all. I've only seen you my whole life. Your whole life. Taking a picture of a picture of a picture.
5000x7, the magic we define through the wheels of change. Let the real life combine. Mother Nature's wisdom in her arms we find. Connected in this moment, hearts forever bind.
2, 3.
Echoes of the past, whispers of the earth. In every single heartbeat we discover words. 5000x7 dreams take their flight. Navigating through shadows, chasing the light. Only's the way, a guiding fear. Through the storms of life we ride without fear. 5000x7, a legacy to mold. Stories of our journey waiting to be told. 5000x7, let the chorus resound. In the symphony we share, our souls are unbound. MO is in control, where unity thrives. Together we will flourish as long as love survives.